Hello, I'm Teri Belf. I am the world's first Master Certified Coach. I've been in the business for a long time, since 1987, and I love this profession, and I wish to share with you 10 different things that distinguish or differentiate Master Certified Coaches or Masterful Coaches from the others. I draw this not only from my own experience, also from the experience of the trainers that I have trained, the coaches I have trained, and all the wonderful clients who have given me feedback over the years. There will be 10 different tips, and I will divide these into different videos and make some points and examples in each one. So, let's start with the first point. What differentiates a masterful coach is the context or content continuum. Masterful coaches pay attention to context, not content. Content changes. It changes all the time, as we know. The context is the foundation of our life. It could be revealed through life purpose, through values, through the meaning and the things that are most important to you in your life. And those are the conversations that you have with a masterful coach. It's like talking to a really close friend, and you cover all kinds of areas and all grounds, and you know that the information you're talking about is at the level of life lessons, things that you can apply in any venue, any setting, any time frame. And it's the information that makes up the reasons why we are here and the lessons that we are meant to learn. That's the conversation. How do you get to that conversation? You ask the question, why is that important? What is bigger than the issue of the moment? Kick it up a level. What is bigger than the issue of the moment? And why is that important? And what meaning does that have for you? And why is that important? And you keep going all the way up so that you really are at the level of essence. That's the conversation that masterful coaches have. I'll give you an example. I had a client many years ago who came to me to want to be able to stick to her budget. Okay, so we got into the conversation and I asked her what was important about sticking to her budget. And she said, well, I just don't want to overspend so much. And in overspending, what does that have to do with the importance for you in your life? Well, I overspend because I tend to feel lonely and then I go shopping. Ah, okay. So if you weren't lonely, what would you be instead? I would take some risks and I would contact friends to get together. I'm always afraid that they're going to say no because I'm asking at the last moment because I fear that they're not going to say yes, so I hesitate and wait, and that's why I'm usually alone. Okay, so the issue that we're talking about is taking risks in being social. Yeah. Okay, so now we have a very different issue, don't we? It's not about learning to stick to your budget. It's about learning how to be comfortable taking risks. That's what a masterful coach would do. The second point that I wish to address is the point about emotions. Masterful coaches have a special way of dealing with emotions with their clients. Now, first let me ask you, how many words do you know in your language, your primary language? If I were to speak to English, the one I'm most familiar with, I couldn't tell you how many I know, but I know that there's over 1 million words in our language, and I know that I just know a subset of those. Now, how did I come to know this particular collection? Well, through my experience, my learning, my life, okay? So when I use the words that I know, I'm giving you a snapshot into who I am and the life that I lead and the words I have used to describe my experiences. What does this have to do with emotions? Well, never, ever do masterful coaches name the emotions of their clients. Because the only one who can identify an emotion is the person who is experiencing the emotion. Because we name our emotions based upon our experience. So, if a client comes in telling you that something has happened and her face is like this, and a masterful coach would not say, you seem sad today, unless the client has used that word first. If the client has not used that word, It actually would be rude, it would be disrespectful to name another person's emotions. Because remember I said the only one who can name an emotion is the person who is experiencing the emotion. And that leads me to the competency that underlies this in our profession. It's called intimacy, trust, and respect. And that is the partnership that we want to have with people. In order to respect them, we have to let them use their own words in describing their emotions. Another point about emotions is always identify the being of the person if it speaks louder than the doing. What do I mean by that? Well, again, by example, if a person came in feeling, oh, let's say, frustrated at not having gotten the budget that she wanted at work, okay? A masterful coach would not say, would you like to brainstorm or problem solve ways that we could address this so that you could more likely get your results in the future that you want? No, 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 no. A masterful coach would say, I can see and hear the frustration, because that word was already used by the client. I can see and hear the frustration that you have with your budgeting. And then pause. This respects the client. The client now feels heard because the being of the client was spoken more loudly than the doing. So I hope these tips are useful in helping you differentiate a masterful coach. I am Teri Belf, and you can reach me at www.belfcoach.com or www.successunlimitednet.com, or email me at coach@belf.org. And Belf is spelled B like in boy, E-L-F like in Frank. Thank you so much. I hope you stay and listen to some of the other tips as well.